Great, it's recording. Hope everybody can see the screen okay. This is the Zero Cost Product Empire. Welcome, my friends. And we're going to go right to the nitty-gritty about how to do this. Let me see what this is. Would you like to hide webcam sharing? No? Okay. It's always something with GoToWebinar. Anyway, don't think I'm overloading. This is going to be a great webinar. Paul says we're getting some echo. All right, we'll just hang in there a little bit. And try not to worry about that. But what we're going to do here is we're going to talk about creating products, CDs and DVDs and stuff like this for zero cost. And what we've done here is the Zero Cost Product Empire. Now, this is a huge webinar night. We've got about nearly 300 people registered. So if you hear any echoes or any kind of glitches, just go to webinar. It's a little overloaded as you saw that little thing pop up. But the other thing is I'm running a fever here, and I've got the flu again, so I'm actually doing this in a lot of pain, so I'm going to keep doing this. So if I happen to pass out and you hear silence or something, I'll get Vicky to take over. My trusty girl is always sitting next to me. She'll take over the teaching. Just kidding there. I don't want to put her on the spot, but we're going to go ahead and get going here. All right. Welcome, friends, to the Zero Cost Product Empire. And I learned this a long time ago about getting a massive wealth of products that sell 24/7 with no money up front. Now, who doesn't like to do that? Who wouldn't want products being sold all night and all day? And when you wake up, you see products being sold. Every morning I get up, I see orders for things, not a ton of money. One thing makes, tens of thousands of dollars. These webinars and things that I do make that kind of money, but not, the small products, but they build up over time. And I have so many of these things that it really creates a huge amount of money, passive income, recurring income over and over and over, all kind of accumulated together. And you can see here this little picture here. I'm sure you've heard the old saying, money can't buy happiness. Actually, it's a lie. That's just something to tell poor people so they feel better. That's kind of mean-related. It's kind of mean, but we're going to talk about how you can create some financial freedom with products. Here's the thing. I want to talk about products. I love products, but I don't like paying for printing costs. I don't like buying a whole bunch of printed CDs up front and storing them in a big storage unit. I don't have boxes and boxes of books all piled up in my living room not being sold. So I've gotten around the system of having to create a bunch of printing costs and product costs, and there was a day when you had to spend a lot of money for masters and duplication and all this stuff, and you don't have to do that anymore. So Tom Antion, I worked for him for a long time, 8 years almost, still working for him here and there. We've got a big project coming up that you'll hear about pretty soon. But he always told me what Dottie Walters told him. You have to be a product machine. If you don't have a bunch of products, you're not making as much money as you could, and your brand can almost suffer. Well, think about what it looks like to your business when you have all these products. It really makes a statement for your business. Who am I? I'm Colin Martin, obviously that strapping young lad who's running a big fever tonight. I don't know what the heck is wrong. It's the fourth time I've been sick in a month. I haven't been this sick in probably since last week. So mind the coughing, or if I pass out or have to go to the hospital, excuse that, but we're going to get to some good content. I also use products for one thing, and I was really proud of this. I made a dream come true by gem hunting, and a lot of you know that. I was out in the wilderness for 10 weeks. Well, how can I afford to do that? A lot of us can't take that kind of time off, but products is what afforded me the ability to do that. Products that sell all the time, 24/7, without me having to pitch them all the time. And there were different products that I sell. Obviously, each of us probably sell a couple of these, but I try to sell all of them. One is ebooks. Ebooks sell like crazy. And depending on what your target is interested in, ebooks, the best thing about them is that they solve a real problem for your target market. And of course, there's information that educates your target market in the ebook with clickable links that go right back to your website and services. So an ebook is double duty. You get paid for the ebook, and then it's also a promotional piece. So if you don't have links in your ebooks, it's something you want to go back in and change. Printed books, I sell printed books, and that I get those on CreateSpace. So I have a way to create a sale on my site. So if you want a printed book. It's just a link on my site that says you click here to get a printed book, and it just goes to Amazon. They print it, they ship it, they shrink wrap it. I don't have to do anything. They just send me the money every month. But it's a great option for people who still like to read physical books, and there's a lot of them out there. Transcripts. I sell transcripts, and a lot of people didn't think that that was very popular, but a lot of people do it, and I've made quite a bit of money off of that. Transcripts are great because it's a way to sit down and really get into the meat of a particular process, learning a new training or something without sitting there listening to an MP3. So a transcript is basically a transcript of a video script or an MP3 or a teleclass or a webinar. I've actually made a transcript of some of these webinars, such as this one, that I use and sell as training devices. Well, I put all these together, ebooks, transcripts, CDs, and the like, and create what is called a training system. A training system is a one place where they can get everything without having to buy a whole bunch of little things. A lot of the time, it's easier to sell a training system because everything's in one place. You're not nickel and diming everyone to death, and they know that they don't have to search around and try to decipher the golden nuggets. Hopefully, they're all in your training system. And a part of a training system is CDs, which I'm going to show you a really good trick tonight of selling CDs without any money up front. DVDs without any money up front. And binders and workbooks. Binders and workbooks are very popular, and there's one reason I suggest binders and workbooks is because when they print it out, it can just be a PDF that's free for you to create and sell. But when your customer prints out the binder and workbook and keeps track of their success, they have a better rate of success. And of course, word of mouth and referrals about how great your stuff really works is exactly what you need to reach more customers. And a workbook keeps people involved and engaged in there. And they keep track of their success, and they can actually see it. All of these can be in digital forms and create content for membership sites. So every one of these things that I've had is basically MP3s and ebooks and binders and all this stuff is available in a monthly subscription membership site where, again, everything is in there. And membership sites are great because people love the forums, and they get to network with people, and they also wait for you to upload new training in there. So sometimes a membership site, members are rewarded with new training that you may just have for sale while they're paying monthly. They get everything for free, or while they're paying, they get stuff for free and updated stuff. Membership sites are great because that's where you find the most updated and relevant things. It's also free content for autoresponders and e-courses. I've used autoresponders to drip deliver all these kinds of things, training videos, MP3s, PDFs, in autoresponders that keep your brand alive to people, and they love that kind of thing. And it creates one heck of a conversion in selling personal coaching, which is where the money is, in my opinion. So what are you going to learn tonight? I'm going to show you where to print and sell products for free. I'm going to show you how 3 common digital files that you probably have sitting around on your computer can turn into an empire of information products. Also, I'm going to show you how the high converting trifecta of product offerings. There's a way to offer a training system that sells 50% more than any training system that you've previously thought that you should offer. And I'm going to show you exactly what the 3 things that you offer that increase conversions over 50%. I'm also going to show you how to print and sell a book you didn't write. That's always fun. That's very important for us professionals out there, lawyers and chiropractors and nutritionists that don't have time to write a book or just can't do it. And I'm going to show you the secrets to writing a book and selling one and without having to write it yourself, and what to do with old products. It's kind of funny. Also, you won't want to miss the story of how I got paid $1,200 to make a product. I got paid to make the product, and then I sold it for over $30,000. Okay, if you want to stick around for that, it's really cool. Let's get right into it. There will be no pitch for this product, or there'll be no pitch for a product in this webinar. And when I say no money up front, I mean cash right out of your pocket. What you're going to have to do, though, there is an emotional and a lot of hard work, an emotional investment, and a lot of work involved in doing this. You'll need to invest some time. You'll need to invest in yourself and your business, and you need to believe that this is worth it, even though you don't see any sales immediately. A product empire creates a whole resonance with your brand and your customer, and over time, it can make you very rich. None of this stuff is get rich quick, so if you're here and one of these people, you don't need to hang out for the whole webinar. This is creating what we call an empire of info products that make you the expert in your field. The power of the PDF. Everyone's got these things. Okay, PDFs, we've written books and we've had transcripts from our speeches and just all this stuff. And we have these PDFs sitting around. I got folders and folders of this stuff, and I keep thinking, what am I going to do with it? PDFs are great. Mainly they're ebooks. Ebook is always in a PDF form. Of course, they've moved into other formats as of lately. I'm going to show you what different formats they are. Of course, one of them is Kindle and CreateSpace. So the PDF is the seed to a lot of different products. Your ebooks, transcripts you can sell on your site. You can sell them in email promotions. You can download them straight from, you can give them away to help encourage opt-ins. You can sell them on your site. You can have a whole store full of informative ebooks. The PDF is also what you send to Kindle for them to create Kindles. It's also what you send CreateSpace so they can print the book. And you don't need anything magical here in format. The PDF is what I've used to create my slew of Kindle books and my CreateSpace books. You can also upload a PDF, one simple PDF, to a place called Smashwords.com. If you haven't heard of that, it's really cool. And they sell it to their traffic. They have a big database of people, and then they promote it. But what's cool is they turn your PDF into 12 different digital platforms, which is Kindle, which is iTunes, which is a Sony Reader, all these kinds of formats that I wouldn't have any clue how to create myself. I really don't. I'm not going to hire somebody to do it. So they do it for you at Smashwords, and they make it all available there, which is really interesting. Also, you can dissect PDFs and create what we call swipe files. Swipe files are things that I've collected, emails and promotions and things for myself and other people that I've had permission to sell, and I put them all in one place, and swipe files are very easy to sell. People love those, but of course they're PDFs as well. Also, it's also membership site content. A lot of membership sites have downloadable PDFs. That's where you're going to get all your information. And you can take a big PDF. I had a 400-page book about video marketing that took me forever to write, and I dissected it into a smaller series where I divided the book by chapter. I talked about shooting, scripting, production, and then marketing, all of videos and YouTube. And it was part of a 400-page book that I had actually had a hard time selling because it was kind of expensive. So broke it into 12 different Kindle books and put them on Kindle. And now they sell, and they're only like $3 or $4 on there, and they sell constantly. I'm not doing the marketing for Kindle. Amazon and the power they have is selling these books for you. But now I've got all these Kindle books, which is really neat. So I like doing that. Also, there's MP4s, which is called a simple video file. You may have these downloaded from your camcorders, or anytime you upload a screen capture video to YouTube or anything, that's an MP4. An MP4 you can use to create DVDs on CreateSpace. They will actually help you create a DVD on CreateSpace using the MP4 files that you can download from YouTube. And you don't have to print anything. They do the printing. They shrink wrap it. They create the cover. They ship it to the customer, and all you do is get a royalty. So I have royalties coming in for all these different products on Amazon, and I didn't create any of these up front, but they look with any kind of cost. So they do it for me. So, but on my site, it looks like I have a slew of DVDs for sale, which makes me look really cool, okay? What are MP4s? What can we use as DVDs or what we call streaming videos on YouTube? Well, webinars like this one. And I'm going to show you a trick where I made all that $30,000 with strictly just a YouTube recording. Now go to Webinar, it gives you a free recording. It's an MP4, and you can do whatever you want with it. So I always record these webinars, not just because of the people who didn't show up, that missed out the live event, shame on them, but I sell this as a product. I can sell this zero-cost product Empire recording later on. It may be free now, but what if I wanted to sell it as a DVD? Well, I can do that without any costs up front. Also, there's Google Hangouts are now big, and they can be recorded, and those are MP4s. And then, of course, you want to take MP4s and put them in your membership sites, watching YouTube videos or file uploads of videos, what we call training videos, screen captures, anything you just want to talking head, any kind of video you want to make is great stuff for membership sites, and we have tons of them on some of the sites that I've created. And also drip video content for paid e-courses. Someone can buy an e-course on such as how to create products, such as this one, and I can divide this up over like 7 days, and they can pay like $20, and I could chop this hour thing up into 10-minute segments and then drip it out in an email through a paid e-course. Still very popular. People like paid e-course because they know they're getting real content, and that it's not just fluff stuff that typical freebies are. Freebies are usually just lead generators, and they usually have no real content in it, and it's just for tire kickers to kind of get used to your brand. But a paid e-course, people know that it's very important. So YouTube gives you a free MP4. All you do is upload to a YouTube video, and you can download the MP4 from YouTube. They even now give you a video editor that you can use for free in case you don't have one. It's very simple. All the kids are using it, so you don't have to have this highfalutin editing equipment or pay a video editor. God forbid, we're not paying anybody in this thing if we can help it, and you can do this yourself. MP3s. What are those? It's a audio file, simple as that. And if you have MP3s, I can get an MP3 from this video recording. I can just get one from freeconferencecall.com. They give you one for free. I can just sit here and record a bunch of stuff on my computer and have tons and tons of files. There maybe someone out there who's recorded your speeches and workshops. Those can be MP3s. What can I do with the MP3? All for free. I can create CDs that are sold and printed and shipped to the customer without me having to do it myself. They can be audiobooks. Like all the audiobooks are very popular now in downloads. I sell stuff as podcasting too. Podcasting is nothing but an MP3 that you pay for or you get on a regular basis for free. Paid free doesn't make any difference. Also, on-site MP3 downloads. Obviously, you can just sell MP3s on your site. Got a ton of them. And they simply have a buy button. You pay for it. Shopping cart delivers an MP3. They download it to their iPod and they go to the gym. Voila. Totally free. Okay. Also, now Amazon will help sell your MP3s, what's called MP3 on demand. It's a place where they sell downloads, typically 99 cents or something, but this stuff really adds up. Also, you can sell them on iTunes, very popular iTunes. And membership site content, again, membership sites can have anything in it, streaming video, PDFs, MP3s, or a big mix of all of it. And then, of course, again, drip content for paid e-courses. I've delivered a paid course with MP3s that these 10 or 15-minute long recordings that they get every day for like 7 days that teach them how to do something. So think about what your target market is looking for and just sit down at your computer, get a free program called Audacity, and sit there and get a cheap mic and just record something. It doesn't have to cost very much, and you can make tons and tons and tons of MP3s that you can put into place and into power of all of these things right here. Okay, I just outlined 20 different revenue streams created by 3 simple digital files that we often have sitting around on our computers at any given moment. Okay, what I want you to do a little bit later, not right now, but when you get off of this webinar here, look around and gather up all the PDFs and ebooks and downloads and swipe files and things that you've collected. You may not have anything, or some of us have tons and tons of stuff, and we just never have used any of it. We keep thinking we're going to get around to doing something with it, but then we keep thinking, well, it's too complicated, or it's going to cost me to create this, and it really doesn't. Look at some of these things that you may have. Screen captures from Camtasia, recorded speeches and presentations, webinar recordings like I'm making right now, camcorder files that you've sat around with a talking head at your office, webcams, YouTube videos, podcasts from radio shows. Every time you do a blog talk radio show, whether you have it yourself or you're a guest, they supply you with the MP3. You can sell that, okay? You can download the MP3 and put it in a membership site content. I had a membership site full of all sorts of blog talk radio programs. Now, blog talk radio is free, and all these other podcasts are free. Why would somebody pay for it? Well, because it's all in one place. They don't have to search through the gigantic blog talk radio site. You've provided all the training in one place for one simple price every month in your membership site. teleclass recordings. I used Instant Teleseminar, free conference call. I've had this for 2 years. I had a call every Monday night with a partner of mine, and we talked about relationships, and it was on freeconferencecall.com. And after 2 years, I had hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of recordings. Okay, and that created a huge library of killer products. Recorded speeches and presentations, PDFs, their Word documents you've been messing around with, these webinar slides like I'm showing you right here that I've created in Google Drive here or PowerPoint can all be turned into PDF and ebooks. Most of the fast track guides and ebooks that I sell along in my training systems are just the PDF of these slides here. But people love slides because they can go through it at their own pace. They can skip through and get to the good part without sitting here, dredging through these webinar recordings. And also video and audio transcripts can all be PDF. So think about all the stuff you have on your site and what you can do with this to make money. And the way I do this is called print on demand. And I talked about a few of these already. Amazon's CreateSpace.com is a print on demand. They'll print and ship any number of books, just one at a time, or up to 10,000. You can do whatever you want. And Vervante.com is the same way. Vervante, they get notified through PayPal or your shopping cart or One Shopping Cart or Infusionsoft, whatever you're using, whenever you make a sale. And you can set up what's called a second notification. So I sell an MP3 on my site. Vervante gets the email. They already have the file uploaded and the artwork. And what they do is they went ahead and burn the CD, put it in a plastic case, shrink wrap it, put the cover on there, and ship it to your customer for $2. Okay, $2. So I could have charged for a CD $20, $19.99. They take the $2, and then I keep the $17. Okay, and I get the $19 immediately through my shopping cart. They just go in and debit the $2 and then turn around and ship it. Okay, depending on where you're shipping it, maybe a little bit more than that, but you can include that in your prices in your shopping cart. You can charge whatever you want for a CD. The more precise and targeted and nichified, if that's a word, the information that you have. If you're one of the few people that have a certain kind of information, you can charge whatever you want. I have sold MP3s and CDs for as high as $100 a disc because it just wasn't, music. It just wasn't fluff. It had specific training to a certain kind group of people that were willing to pay that much to get that kind of information. So Lightning Source, Lulu, KD Press, these are all places that sell from 1 to 10,000 or more prints. Ron says, what is the name of that print on demand? I cannot make out how you're pronouncing it. Sorry. Vervante. You can see it here. Right here. Vervante. Vervante.com. And actually, these are slides from, I did this like in July or June of 2013. There's always more of these come out every single day. Now, I haven't, tested any of them, but they're basically the same. They get notified of an MP3 sale or a DVD sale or a printed book, and they print them for you. Lulu does printed books. KD Press does printed books and CDs. And Vervante just does Vervante does CDs and printed binders. There was a friend of mine, and she basically had a product, and he bought it from the site, and Vervante shipped 13 discs and one giant binder to their customer. It was $197. Okay, and there was a point when my friend first actually created the product. It was like $30 to print it and ship it, and she didn't even have $30 to buy her own product. There were people out there buying her product that she didn't even have the money to buy herself. So I thought that was kind of funny. And so you definitely wanted to do that, but you can mark up whatever you want. Vervante will print and ship it to your customer without you having to do anything. The compact disc, CreateSpace does them, and they also do DVDs. And compact disc also Vervante, and there's also Kunaki. Kunaki is actually a piece of software that you download to your computer. I don't use that one much anymore because it can be a little complicated. Bravante will do all this stuff for you, so you don't have to do any of that. And cdfulfillment.com and another place called CD Baby will all make CDs from an MP3. You don't need any fancy kind of audio formats, just a MP3, and they'll send it right out. Digital books, Kindle, and Smashwords both went over there. That's how you can just upload and have your digital books. Now, the good thing about Smashwords and Kindle and Amazon is not that you're just selling stuff on your site and linking over there for your people to buy the digital books. They're selling it and marketing it for you. I don't market my own Kindle books on my site. I don't waste my time with that. I sell printed books and my own PDFs, my own ebooks. I let Kindle do all my stuff. Every time I check into Kindle, I've sold more books and I didn't do anything. They're the one marketing it. So everyone is getting into Kindle now. Obviously, Kindle's the big thing. There's a whole bunch of new Kindle training and stuff out there that really helps. Tom's just now getting into it, Tom Antion, where he's created these books under a fictional name and has and will send out to his list a way to buy, for everyone to buy all the book at one time to kind of create this bestseller thing. So he's working on something, and if you get Tom's email, you can see just last week he's cooking up some kind of great training there for Kindle to create a bestseller program. And speaking of Tom Antion, this is what Tom used to have in his store now at his house. He still has a lot of this kind of stuff. But when I started working for him, we had all these CDs. We had to pay for masters, duplication, like $2 a disc, but we had to pay for that up front, and it came in these giant boxes. These boxes are printed books. We had them sitting around. So when I first started working there was this giant garage full of stuff, and he had spent tens of thousands of dollars. I'm not going to do that, okay? I'm not going to do that. So I'm doing all of this now for print on demand and doing it all for free. So I have all this stuff available, printed, shrink wrapped, shipped to my customer without no money up front. You know, when I first started doing internet marketing, I couldn't afford a duplicator, and Tom would pay literally $5,000 to have a pile of discs. Then he would have to get the jewel cases. Then he would have to shrink wrap it. Then he would have to mail it out and pay the shipping. Whew, I can't do that. So no more of that stuff. Now, let's talk about a training system. A training system is nothing but all of this stuff that you have, ebooks, CDs, and streaming videos and Kindle books and whatever you want, all in one place. And it's nothing more than an assembly of smaller digital and physical products. And we like to create a lot of little products and have them for sale, but for the people that want it all now and want it all in one place, people are willing to pay for training systems. In fact, I make far more selling a system of a whole bunch of MP3s and ebooks together than I do even the same ones individually, because usually I promote it as a system, and people just love that. Clients, they pay for systems for one reason. Well, clients pay for systems because the cost savings over purchasing the individual products alone can add up, but that's not really why they want it. They pay for systems because, like I said, everything they need for success is all in one place. No searching, no guessing, no trying to figure out what in the world's going on. You have everything that they need, and people love that, and that's why the product system will never, ever go out of style. Bonuses are a big part of that. And let me explain the product system. Often the bonuses are the deciding factor when you're promoting a system. They'll look at the bonuses and they'll say, do I really want all this? And the bonuses can really be the tipping factor in terms of making a purchase. So your bonus shouldn't just be afterthought. It shouldn't be something you're just cleaning out. It shouldn't be stuff that isn't any good or isn't selling. They should be products that are strong enough to be sold alone as their own powerful product. So whenever you start creating your bonuses, make them, be proud of them, put values to them, create something that you know people are going to love. And I'm going to show you right now, a successful product system is defined by 3 elements, what I call the trifecta. And you have to do this to increase your product system sales by up to 50%. Again, we're not working with anything that we bought ahead of time. All this stuff is print on demand, CDs, printed books, all this stuff can be delivered all through a product system. The first one is obviously digital products. videos, MP3s, and PDFs. People love those because they get it right now. As soon as they buy the product, they get the instant digital products delivered now. They can be listening to your training within minutes of buying the product. So that's the instant gratification part. The second part of the trifecta is physical. They want something that weighs something. Binders, real CDs, DVDs, printed workbooks that they can use to keep on track. Some people like MP3s, but they also like to get CD versions. So my product systems have both. So when someone buys the product system, the MP3 and PDF is delivered instantly. Then the CDs and the binders and workbooks will be delivered in a couple of days. Vervante will get notified of the order. They'll print it and ship it. Now they look like they're getting something of value. People like stuff. I worked in the giftware industry for a long time, and people actually thought the value of giftware was in either the rarity or the weight. So if you weren't selling diamonds or gemstones, the bigger and heavier the item, the more value it held. So in that regard, physical products are something that people still see as a real value. And then, of course, the third one that wraps it all up and that we often forget to do is the personal touch. So the trifecta is digital, physical, and personal products. That's your perfect training system. Personal ones are live teleclasses, live webinars, group coaching calls, individual coaching calls, wherever it is that you can get together, these mastermind groups, these virtual workshops, whatever you can do to get your customers into a setting where they get to ask questions of you, the expert. That is what creates the real value. Nobody really wants a bunch of MP3s and PDFs and CDs and ebooks and be left on their own. They really want to be able to talk to you. So these alumni groups and these mastermind groups, if you include that in your product system, it's crazy popular. The digital products, like I said, it's easy to deliver. You can start right away. There's no cost of goods sold. Digital products are completely free to deliver, and they're accessible on mobile devices and pads and iPhones and all this other stuff, so they can take it with them. Physical products, again, have a higher perceived value. You can physically interact with it, creates engagement. You can put your picture all over the books and it makes you look like a bigwig and a celebrity. Brand awareness. It can be shared. That's the important thing. A physical book, people borrow those. You know how many times I borrowed a book off somebody? I borrowed Daniel Hall's Speak on Cruise Ship books and ended up buying the thing, the training. This was years ago. And I borrowed it off of Tom, of course. I borrowed everything that he bought, so I didn't have to buy anything. But physical products make you look more professional. Personal products, hand-holding is a valuable selling point. The personal touch is how you create real value. Live workshops, they increase success. You get to ask questions. Increased success gets more referrals, word of mouth. It's also exclusive. So instead of people borrowing your books and sharing your MP3s with the world, you're the only one that gets to come in onto the live workshop. You get the nitty-gritty. That can't be shared, so it's exclusive, and they're only for real customers that take it seriously. And live workshops, and this is the big one, group workshops, wherever I get people together, are strictly used, basically, as an upsell for higher ticket coaching. So whenever I get people onto my mastermind groups, there's always a certain percentage of people within the mastermind group that want to go one step further and buy high-priced mentoring. And you can't just sell mentoring unless you have a crowd of people in your fold. So that's how I upsell and really get the big money. Okay, how to create and sell a book you didn't write. This is really great. I've been working all year with some people here, some experts, some executive coaches, and some lawyers, and a couple of other people. And they don't have time to write a book, and to be honest, they don't even think they can, okay? Well, you don't have to. You can interview experts in a particular field. It doesn't have to be yours. It can be anything. It can be on weight loss. It can be on diabetes. It can be anything. And interview experts in a particular field and save that material. Obviously, you can do it just in recordings, or you can write it down. You can also collect what's called user-generated content. This woman here at my3things.org asked people to come to a website and fill out the comments on the website, and and she was asking, what are your favorite 3 things? Your 3 favorite things in the world, and what do they mean to you? And she exclusively said she would use the content for a book. So she created this fantastic book, which people love these short books about daily affirmations or the 3 things that are most important to people. She couldn't even write that kind of stuff. There were so many various heart-touching things that people would leave on the website, and she collected it, and there was a disclaimer that obviously they weren't going to be financially compensated, that she was going to use it in a book, and if they don't like that, they don't have to do it. And she created a whole book out of this user-generated content. Also, all your blog posts. How long have you been blogging? Obviously, some of you haven't been blogging, and shame on you, but some of us, myself, and I know a few other people here tonight, that have been blogging for years. And the Blog Squad came up with this thing called Blog Book, where you can go in and download, and WordPress will let you do this, download the content from all the posts going back years and years and years and years, and turn them into a PDF. Now all the posts that you've ever written can be basically turned into a book. That's a book. Now you might have written it, but you didn't write the book. Every time someone wants to think about writing a book, it sounds like they're going to be ripping their hair out trying to do this thing under a time frame, and then we end up not doing it. But we've already written all these blog posts plus a bunch of other stuff. So even Facebook and posts that you may have written and the group postings and stuff there, that can be book content. Again, social media contests, you can collect stories and photos and information for contests on social media. You can go to Facebook and say, tell me your best story about what is the best person you ever hired, and what qualifications did they have that made you want to hire them. Well, that's entertaining and very educational to managers and mid-level managers, where no matter what the industry, you can ask people for their best stories and collect them. Also, look at this. What's called an anthology. We all seen The Chicken Soup. The Chicken Soup, they didn't even write that. It's the best-selling books in history, and they only wrote a few chapters of it. They collected chapters from experts, and you can work out the financial issues with it however you want. You can pay for the anthology. You can give people a percentage. You can ask them to just solicit without any financial compensation. Whatever you want to do, creating an anthology can have a book created very quickly. And I know a few people that I've worked with have created these social networking books by everybody pitching in. So it's a little bit like a telesummit, except it's in printed form. And of course, it's just PDFs. Everyone submits it. You create it. You upload it to CreateSpace. They print it, ship it to the customer, and you don't have to pay for any shipping up front. Also, there's some other things, Help a Reporter and Reporter Connection. Now, Reporter Connection isn't around anymore. It just disappeared over the last couple months, and that was Steve Harrison's guide, but there are some other ones. This helpareporter.com, they're looking for people to submit stories and things, but I went on there, and I asked for stories, for people to give me stories. And Mark tried this too, my business partner. So I went on Help a Reporter, and I said, I'm making a book. I want you to submit a story of the one person in your life that changed your life. What did that person mean to you? Was it your dad or a teacher? What was the one person that changed your life, and what did they do to make your life so much better? And submit that story, and I had a little disclaimer saying that I was going to use it in a book, and there was going to be no financial compensation. And they agreed with an electronic signature in the email, and that was it. And I collected tons and tons of stories and had this beautiful book. And I loved it. And I didn't write any of it. I couldn't have written that kind of stuff. These were different, beautiful things written by beautiful people that had experiences that I couldn't even make up. And people loved reading those kinds of things. It's a little bit like the Chicken Soup stuff. So it worked really good, and I used Help a Reporter to solicit that kind of stuff. And the best one was Reporter Connection. There's probably some other ones out there. I'm going to do a little bit of research and see if there's some other places where you can collect stories from people, but you can do it online, or you can just do it, or you can do it through social media. Now is probably the easiest way to do it. But creating these books are fantastic. People do want to submit a story without financial compensation. Why? Because they want to see their stuff in print. If you're going to take the time to accumulate this thing and send it to CreateSpace and do all the stuff and put it together and create a cover, they just want to see it. You may even just give away an ebook to them so they have the whole ebook and they can see that they've been published. And all this stuff really works. So you don't have to pay for all that kind of stuff. Now, a story of my friend here is an incredible story. And it's not the real story. I'm getting that in just a minute. But this is my friend. I can't even mention her name or she'd kill me. All right. But I'll just call her M for right now. Her identity cannot be revealed. And here's what she did. She walked around there's a particular industry. Maybe we'll call it the concierge or hotel industry. And she walked around with a tape recorder and talked to all the hotel employees, and they told their funny stories in a tape recorder. And she collected hours and hours and hours and hours of these wild stories about what takes place in the hotel industry. And you can do this for any industry. You can do it for limo drivers. Now, you don't have to be in the industry. You can just identify an industry and go and record it. So she had all these audio tapes, and she had it transcribed. Now, out of all the zero-cost stuff that we talked about today on this thing, this was the only thing that cost any real money or would cost you any money, is having your audio tapes transcribed to PDF. But obviously there's stuff like Dragon Naturally Speaking that can turn it into a PDF, or there's outsourcing where you can send a PDF, literally 15 minutes worth of audio for $5. I've seen that on Fiverr.com. So there's places to get a real cheap transcription of audio tapes. And that's exactly what she did. She went to Fiverr.com, got transcribed audio, but that was the only money she really spent. She designed a cover. She had some friends pitch in and help her design a cover. She uploaded it to Kindle, the transcriptions. And she's been selling 150 to 200 copies of this book because they're funny and they got great reviews for the last 2 years at $10 a piece. So for the last 2 years, and it's actually been longer now, that's $1,500 to $2,000 a month of passive income for a book she didn't even write. All she did was walk around in a particular industry, record funny stories, paid to have it transcribed, created a cover, uploaded it to Kindle, did some Kindle marketing, got some reviews, $2,000 a month. Makes me sick, okay? I have to admit, out of all the stuff that I've done, with all this stuff that I've just gone over, I don't have one single Kindle book that makes $1,500 a month. Most of mine make like 50. Okay, but I have a bunch of them. Okay, so it just depends on what it is, and I have books that are like blogging for artists. You know, I don't know why I wrote that. 13 pages long, makes like $40 a month. I don't know who's buying it. Artists don't blog. Okay, so that was pretty weak anyway. Think of the real funny stuff, and the whole idea of her making this much money was because it was a funny industry. People love funny stuff. They like lighthearted stuff. It's very mainstream. So what can you think of that's mainstream and collect funny stories? And she didn't pay for any of their stories. She just said, look, I'm just going to collect these stories and sell this book. And she's making a fortune off of that. And she hasn't even written any other books. And I told her, you know, you need to like repeat this, rinse and repeat the same thing with 6 more books. And, you know, people get complacent. I don't know what to tell her. All right, what to do with old products that are outdated. Some of us have products that we've been selling for years. I literally have ebooks, you know, from like not 94, what am I talking about? I've had ebooks from like 2006. And I don't even, they're relationship books. I don't even know what the heck is in them. They don't sell a lot anymore because the sites, first off, are not really around anymore. But anyway, what can you do with old products? Well, here's I'm going to give a few tips here. You can break video content down and just take the content that you have from videos and put them on YouTube and just act as traffic generation devices. The more YouTube videos you have, the more traffic you can drive to your websites. You need hundreds of YouTube videos, and you don't want to sit there and try to make a Spielberg production. You want to get it out, and you want to get as many as possible to work for you 24/7. A lot of old content, screen capture. I have screen capture videos from Camtasia where I talked about blogging or something, and you know, and it doesn't really sell a whole lot anymore, and it was just some membership site content that kind of got buried. Well, I took it apart and I dissected it and threw it up on YouTube, and now it brings me leads. You can also collect all this stuff together and have an end-of-the-year blowout sale, which Tom does all the time. If you've ever seen a blowout sale, it's a lot of old products that aren't really selling, or so you put them all together and you charge, you know, like $100 or something and sell it. You can also your old products, they might be old and they might be a little outdated, but there's still gems of stuff in there. So you can actually go in and edit some of the good stuff out and rebrand it under a whole new title, and people will buy it all over again. And if you don't believe that, I've done it a million times. I've gone into an old YouTube marketing thing where YouTube changed so much that some of it wasn't relevant anymore, pulled out the stuff that was still relevant, called it something else, brand new for 2013, threw in a whole bunch of new bonuses and updated stuff, and it was perfect. Also, you can create what's called an antiques tab on your website. Okay, I'm just kidding on that one. Okay. Also, you can use old CDs and DVDs for skeet practice. I've done that. So we can do all of that. Now, here's the good part. I know you guys have been waiting for this. This is what you've been waiting for. I'm going to show you and tell you the story of how I got paid $1,200 to make a product that made me $30,000. Have you done that? If you have, you can put yes in the chat box, but you probably wouldn't be on the webinar if you did. Let me show you exactly how I did that. Once upon a time, Mark Bullard and I wanted to teach a virtual live webinar workshop about how to create and market videos. So we just decided, hey, why don't we just like go to GoToWebinar, and we'll pay for some people to be on the line live, and we'll do like 8 hours of training on how to make videos. We thought it was a great idea. Okay, it still sounds like a great idea. The problem was we charged $197 to access the workshop, and it was held every Wednesday night from like 7 to 9 for 2 hours for 4 weeks. So it was 8 hours. So we just came in after work, and we were going to have all these people in this live workshop and record it. And we contacted everyone we knew, our own list, and we called our family, I mean everybody, and the problem was nobody wanted to sign up. And nobody knew who the heck we were. And so this live workshop, as great an idea as it sounded, nobody wanted to do it. So we contacted a few people, and someone gave us our very first big break, and this was years ago. And he did it by promoting this live workshop to his list. Now, he didn't have to do that. Well, he took a little bit of the cut, and we gave him a commission, but he didn't have to do this for us. But because he did that and promoted the $197 product, let me show you who it was. It was Jeff. That's right. Jeff Herring. That's why I love this man so much. He gave me my first big break out there in terms of promoting a product. Well, he promoted it to his list, and here's what happened. Only 6 people signed up. He's got 75,000 people on his mailing list, and only 6 people wanted to sign up for our live YouTube training workshops because nobody knew who the hell we were. We were just 2 kids, we didn't know anything. We worked for Tom. We were just lackeys, whatever. We weren't big time, like we are now. So only 6 people signed up. But the thing was, that was $1,200. And we said, yeah, that's not bad for our first giant virtual workshop. $1,200. We'll take it. So we came every Wednesday night. And on Wednesday night from 7 to 9 for 4 straight weeks. And out of the 6 people that bought that thing for $197, only 1 person even showed up and was on the workshop live. The others, I guess, watched the recording. We never heard from them again. They bought it, never knew what happened to them. Very typical in product sales. And then while we sat on the webinar and going through this thing, the attendee, the one attendee that showed up, kept saying she was drinking wine the whole time. She said, oh, I got a bottle of red, and I'm sitting here, and you guys are great and all this. And as the workshop, each night, it got later and later, she got more drunk and started writing weird, cryptic things in the chat box on GoToWebinar. And we didn't understand what in the world she was doing. And it was hilarious. So she started going crazy, and I could just only imagine what this woman was like listening to these webinars. Probably boring her to death, and she had to drink wine just to get through. But here's the thing. We held them on Itty Meeting, and at the time that was free. And it still is for unlimited amount of people, and it worked really good. And back then they gave you a recording of it. So if you're using GoToWebinar or any kind of webinar software to have a virtual seminar, you can get the recording. So we had it on Itty Meeting. It was free. We recorded it with the webinar software they provided, so we got the entire recording, all 8 hours, for free. We created the slides in Google Drive, just like you're seeing these. I create these in what's Google Drive, and it's totally free, and PowerPoint is as well. So we had 8 hours of recorded screen capture videos that we uploaded to YouTube, so we hosted it for free. We took the webinar slides, as you see here, downloaded it as a PDF, and called it a fast track guide. So it was 8 hours of webinar slides that now became a series of books. Then we created what was called the Easy Video Creation System, which was just the 8 hours of recorded videos, watching them on YouTube, and then the fast track guide of the slides. And we proceeded to write everyone on earth at this point to help us promote it. And you can see there's a little banner for it, the Easy Video Creation Training Series. So what did these people do? After a number of months, and we started to reach out and network with people, they hosted a 90-minute free webinar called the YouTube Super Secrets. And we taught 90 minutes of training, just like I'm doing tonight. And then at the end, which you've seen plenty of my webinars where I pitch a product, we sold it at the end for 90. Dozens of people came out of the woodwork, and we started using and pulling our weight, working with Tom and helping us get promoted and to their list so that they would get a commission. So dozens of the biggest names, Joan Stewart, Mike Stewart, Jeff Herring, Alex Mandosian, everyone, Tom, everyone got in on the bandwagon and started promoting this thing for us. And we promoted free webinar to their email list. On one Saturday morning alone, you might have been there, this is a couple years ago, Tom Antion helped us sell 57 of these products on a Saturday morning in less than 2 hours. That was $5,600 in 2 hours. Now, all the gurus did this on all sorts of different nights and webinars. So after about a year and a half, 2 years, we made nearly $30,000 in sales from just joint venture partners promoting it to their lists. The good YouTube training and then selling the video creation system. But we didn't stop there. At checkout, we also upsold our information membership site, which we'd been collecting PDFs and MP3s and teleclasses for the last 2 years that we did with a group called NetAim. And they were all free MP3s that we collected from freeconferencecall.com, and we shoved it in a membership site that was $9.95 a month. So whenever we did a free webinar and pitched the Easy Video Creation System, we also upsold at checkout the Millionaire Marketers Club for $9.95 a month, and nearly 12 people at every single webinar we did, which was literally 1 or 2 a week for years, took the upsell. That was $120 a month, recurring every month for every single webinar that we did, on top of the product sales. We also held these graduate or alumni private and exclusive workshops for the customers that we sold to, where we answered questions like in a mastermind group. We sent them updated material, and we upsold a do-it-for-you filming and editing thing for $727 for people that wanted to not shoot their own stuff or not edit their own stuff, or just have us do it for them. Do it for you is still big. So we had the entire 8 hours of webinar recordings also transcribed from this little Filipino person into a 400-page digital and printed book. That's the one I mentioned earlier. So now we had a 400-page video creation system guide made from the transcripts of the recorded webinars. We broke the webinar recordings into 2-minute gems and used them to promote the system on YouTube. Then we broke the entire 8 hours of recordings into 16 individual modules and sold them on ClickBank as affiliates. And last but not least, Mark even took this story I'm telling you right now, created an ebook and some training videos, and made a product called How to Get Paid to Make a Product, and sold it on Warrior Forum for $7. All this, and we got paid $1,200 to figure all this out. Whew. Now that's awesome. And this is the story of how I made passive income with an empire of products with no money up front, so I could go gem hunting in the wilderness for 10 weeks. And you can see there's my aquamarines that I busted out of the middle of giant boulders in my gem hunting trip. So I hope you enjoyed that little story, but anyone can do that. Anyone can do that. So the moral of this, the real moral of the story is always record all your live webinars, because they can turn into products that you can sell for years and years and years. And I know professional marketers that don't even do that. Okay, now if you haven't fallen asleep yet, I can have a Q&A. I'm really burning up with a fever, so I'm not going to be on here but so long. But I do want to give you a chance to ask some questions about any of this. And but before I get to the Q&A, I want to give you another gift, and this is a free consultation. Because we went through this, we went through it kind of fast. I outlined all the different things. Each one of us is in a different area. We have different things going on here. You can get a free consultation. So where are you with your product creation empire? Are you halfway through this? You ever started? Do you have stuff you never use? Do you even know what to do with any of the stuff? Do you have files and don't understand what to do with them? Do you have products and don't know how to sell them in the funnel that I just showed you? Do you have ways to create a funnel here? Now, if you want the free consultation with me, it's like a 20-minute consultation. All I ask you to do is go to expertwebwriting.com/help, expertwebwriting.com/help, and just fill out a little questionnaire there, and I'll be notified, and it'll be redirected to my scheduler. And of course, we're not going to start the consultations till Monday because I've got Tom's Butt Camp I'm speaking at Saturday if I'm not too sick. So I'm sleeping all day tomorrow. But Monday I'll start the consultations. We can talk for like 20 minutes, and I can help you decide what products you have, how to sell them in a particular funnel, what's the easiest way to get them all marketed, how about getting the files off your computer and sent and uploaded to CreateSpace and Kindle and all these different places, or to create these CDs, set them up with Vervante, how to get the shopping cart to notify, I mean, all this stuff that I went through. I don't expect you to sit here and figure it out all on your own. So if you have anything, we can talk for a few minutes, and I can help you come up with a plan of action to create your own product empire. So you don't want to miss out on the free consultation. So I'm going to get some questions here, and that's it for Zero Cost Product Empire. And let me see what some of the questions here. We got a bunch rolling in. This was one of my hugest webinars ever. I had 200, almost 300, 286 people on the line. So huge. So let me get to some of these questions. Katie says, Colin, should you publish an ebook on Amazon and on Smashwords both? Yes. The reason, what's going to happen is Katie, if you upload an ebook, the PDF to Kindle, you don't have to check that off over at Smashwords. On Smashwords, you actually decide which formats you want to sell and have them sell for you. Obviously, they're not going to be selling Kindle for you if you go straight through Amazon. You can just go to Smashwords and let them do everything. But I personally like to go to Kindle because I want to fill out the descriptions, and I want to do some marketing, and I want to keep an eye on my reviews and get a little bit more in depth with my Kindle sales. Obviously not, I don't do that with all the books, but I want to keep track of it. Smashwords is best for iTunes. That's the biggest place to upload an ebook. iTunes sells ebooks, believe it or not. And then, of course, Sony and Nook and a bunch of other stuff. A few things that have gone out of business, and a few things that have brand new things that have popped up. And another thing is really good that I really want to get into that I haven't gotten into as much as I wanted to was the audiobooks. The audiobooks are huge, and I'm going to have to sit down in one of my ebooks and actually record this thing. I can do that, but I just haven't done it yet. But I know people making nearly $1,000 a month off selling audiobooks because people like to listen to them at the gym or riding around in their car. And they don't have time to sit and read, they're busy. So they get to listen. I love them, but I haven't recorded one yet. And you can't do that at Smashwords. This is just as an aside, Katie. I just wanted to tell you about that. Bala said, can we get a recording as I could not attend the full webinar? Absolutely. I'm going to send out the recording of this tomorrow to everyone. And Ron said, is there a most efficient way to start at one end and go through all the various possibilities with all these types of products? Yes, what I would start out doing is first off identifying, Ron, what products do you have already? If you don't have any at all, if you don't have any folders of ebooks and MP3s sitting around, you haven't had a blog talk show or built these up, the easiest thing to do where you're going to get the most traction is to sit down and record training, no matter what it is. I don't care what industry you're in. You have the knowledge and you can share with people. And go ahead and put a microphone, get Audacity. It's free. It's a MP3 editor and recorder. And sit down and talk and just talk and build these MP3s. Why do you want to start with the MP3s first, Ron? Because you have all the MP3s. You can sell them directly on your site, a whole store of MP3s. You can also upload the MP3 to Vervante and have the CDs available on the site. People buy it, they get the CD. The MP3 can also be sent to someone on Fiverr to transcribe it and quickly make it into ebooks without you sitting down and typing it all out, which is tedious unless you like writing. And also, you can use the MP3s to be part of a membership site and podcasting. So now you've recorded it, an hour's worth of great information. You go in and you edit it real quick. That right there can set off an entire chain of products. You can sell it on Amazon. You can sell it on iTunes. You can sell it as podcasting. You can sell your CDs. MP3s are on the site. All that covers about 10 of the 20 revenue streams here that I talked about tonight. And it's simply totally free. All you do is talk. And of course, people love to hear you talk, Ron, because you have a great voice. All right. Katie says, does Amazon give the author a break on purchasing CreateSpace books? Well, yes. What they do is they sell it to the author for the price to print it. Whenever you upload to CreateSpace, it costs a certain amount. Let's say you upload a 100-page book. So I have a 100-page book on how to start a jewelry business on CreateSpace, and I still have it. It sells really well. I sell it for $11. So the person who buys it pays $11 off of my site, and then CreateSpace, it just links to CreateSpace, and they buy it there. CreateSpace prints it, shrink wraps it, and ships it to the customer. And it only costs me $2.85. So they keep the $2.85, and they give me a royalty every month for the other $8.50 or whatever it is. Okay, and the $8.50 goes right into my bank account every month, the accumulative. So it's a royalty. If I want to buy the book myself, which I often do sometimes because I have speaking engagements and I want to have a few boxes to take with me to a workshop, and I can autograph them or leave them in the seats or whatever little tricks that you want to do with selling a book. You can buy it for the $2.85, and you can buy as many as you want, from one to, you can buy 100 of them. 100 of them would be $285 plus some shipping. So yeah, Katie, you can buy the books for what it costs to print you. Now here's a trick. Write this down. This is really cool. Here's a trick. If you want people to buy the books at a workshop, don't just give the live workshop and then go, oh, by the way, come over here and get your books. This is what they do, like at bands. The band's playing, and then when the set's over, they go, oh, go see Barbara at the back and buy our CD. No, you don't do that. Go to the workshop and put a copy of your book in every seat, and then ask them to turn to a certain page to reference something that you're talking about in your live speech. And because they're holding the book and going through it, the increase in buying the books while they're right there, they even have their own copy, increases like tenfold. So instead of just pitching the book that they haven't seen yet, make them use it. That's an old Tom trick, and it works really well. And almost like half the people would buy the book just because it was sitting in the chair before they sat down. So that's really cool, and that's why I do buy my CreateSpace books, Katie. Bradley says, I've written a series of articles for an online magazine. Each are less than 600 words on a single topic. 7 steps kind of training. Cool. Is that something I could create an ebook of? In my agreement with the publisher, it's all voluntary. I keep all rights to the writing, but must indicate it was originally published, yada, yada. That's fine. Absolutely. You can create an ebook. It doesn't matter how long it is. An ebook, if it's less than 17 pages, just call it a special report and charge more for it. We used to do that all the time. We'd have an ebook for, $10.99, and then we'd have a special report, the 10 things that you must do to make money in this economy right now, $34.95, something like that, because it sounded real specific. Sometimes ebooks can be too big. Bradley, the 600 words, topics, things, you can accumulate those into one ebook, and probably, depending on how many you have, that sounds like you're only going to get about one ebook out of it. But remember, you can get these transcribed, all your MP3s. You can even get videos, YouTube videos, transcribed. There's actually people on Fiverr who will transcribe a YouTube video of your speech at some workshop that was an hour and a half long, for literally like $40, $50. Now you have an ebook, and you didn't even write it, but it is you. It's your words, but someone else did the work. for $50 or $40. And now you have, so think about the MP3s and recordings and YouTube videos and camcorder recordings and all this stuff that you have accumulated. Again, look through your folders. You've probably forgotten how much stuff you have socked away on your computer that you don't remember having. And all of it can be what we call repurposed. And that's something that is just huge. So an MP3 can turn into like 9 or 10 different products, as I outlined a minute ago. An ebook can be flipped back over and be read as an audiobook or MP3 downloads or podcasts and be broken up into special guides and Kindle books. I love taking a fat ebook that it was 100 and 200 pages and breaking it into 4 different Kindle books in a series. And here's the good thing is the 200-page Kindle book might only be $12 or something on Kindle, or $9.95. But when you break them all down into 50-page series, they are $9.95 or $8.95 as well. So now you've just quadrupled the amount of money, because people don't want just the first series. They want all 4. No one buys the second in a series. They buy all 4. And you can market them in as all 4 by having part 1, part 2, and market it in a way that they understand that it's part of a series. So now you've just quadrupled your money on Kindle by breaking one book down into 4. So if you haven't thought about that, that's something you want to think about. Al says, Colin, thanks again for another great session. I've got to leave now, but I hope we can talk next week. Yep, everyone go over to expertwebwriting.com/help. I'd love to talk to you for 20, 30 minutes, and let's just see where we're at here. There's no obligation to do anything. If anyone that knows me knows that we sit down and we hash out some really cool strategies, and I don't ask for anything in return. I just want to create a relationship with everyone. To be transparent, if you really like me and we click together and it sounds like something that we can do, I have different things that you can do to work with me on different levels. I have different systems, and I have autoresponder training all the way up to monthly coaching and all sorts of stuff. But I want to help you, and I want to create a relationship with you, because that's how I roll here. So Bradley, I hope that helps you out. Anything can be an ebook. Your pricing, okay, Bradley also says your pricing suggests I undervalue my writing. Yeah, you do. Everyone undervalues their writing. There is a magical number on Kindle, especially, and it's $9.99. This has already been tested ad nauseum, So, you're not going to get $24 for your Kindle book. And sometimes most of my books are only like $4.99 or $5.99, because I'm competing with a lot of stuff. And there's like cookbooks and weight loss books that are all like 99 cents. And the reason they do that, and here's another thing I want you to keep in mind, Kindle books need to have links in them back to your coaching. Just don't write a book, Bradley, or anyone out there, and throw it on Kindle and then pay 99 cents or $9.99 or whatever and just read it. And that's be the end of the story. It needs to send them back with clickable links. Kindle and Kindle Fire and ebooks and PDFs can all have clickable links with specials and coupons and promotions just for the person that bought the book, that clicks back to the website to a hidden page where they buy training or a product at a discount that no one else can get. So you're rewarding Kindle readers with special products. And what you're doing is you're getting them back in the fold. Now, you don't collect emails when you sell Kindle books. They don't give you that information. So it's very critical that each one of you get people to click out of the Kindle book and opt in on your site for something like another freebie or to buy something. You got to get them back to the site so you can collect the information, because you're not going to get it from Amazon. And Ute says, Colin, thank you. Great information. I'm finished my first Kindle book. Great, Ute. I appreciate it. That's awesome. I want to see that, so you have to send me the link to that. So helpful to keep the momentum of possibilities going. Yeah, now you can always go back in and edit Kindle books. If you forgot to put a bunch of links in there, Ute, go back and resubmit the file. It's just a PDF file, and make sure that you're putting links and promotions. Here's something that I've made a ton of money on. With that Starting a Jewelry Business book that I told you about, and I'm not just selling that for $4.99 Kindle and $10.99 or $12.99 CreateSpace. I'm not that, sure, I want the money, but I'm not that generous just to give away a free ebook. It's got links in it to things like hosting, website, WordPress services, shopping cart systems, e-commerce systems, point of sale systems for jewelry stores, inventory software, all the stuff that I'm telling them that they need to run their jewelry business, and I've already done the research on it, but those are all affiliate links for me. So every time someone buys a Kindle book and then orders an inventory software or joins up for one shopping cart or something, I get a commission. So now a $4.99 ebook literally turns into $30 a month because of a one shopping cart commission, or $199 commission from this $400 inventory software. All I've done is make the suggestion. I'm not making them do it, but it's there. And Tom, he just put out an ebook on Kindle, and here's another trick about shopping carts, and it just talks about how you have to have a shopping cart, and it's called How to Make Money with a Shopping Cart. And there's links in it that go back to one shopping cart, which is where he makes $30,000 a month in affiliate commissions from one shopping cart alone. When you upload to Kindle, they let you give it away for free for 5 days out of every 90 days. And he had like 4,000 people download it for free and click on the links in there to sign up for the one shopping cart. And then after the 5-day promotion, it was only 99 cents. But 99 cents adds up, and he's still making the commissions. Does that make any sense out there? That's huge, okay? And it's specific about selling affiliate links to your ebooks and Kindle. Whew. Do you get an idea of just how much money can be made out there by giving away a free ebook on freeebooks.net or giving away a Kindle promotion? There's people like Tom who are making $30,000 a month strictly from affiliate commissions from one shopping cart or anything else in your industry that you know that your target market needs. So you're just doing the suggestions and you're making all the money. Bradley says, oh man, I've got much more to work on to make what I've already have on Kindle more profitable. Absolutely. So you definitely want to do that. So if you guys have any other questions, get them in, because I'm getting like burning up here. I got a flu. I woke up, every joint was hurting, and nobody can tell me what's going on. I've been sick for like 6 weeks, so I'm beginning to start to wonder what's going on here. But again, I'm sitting with my beautiful girl, Vicky, who sits here, and she's taking real care of me. I'm being the big man flu baby tonight, and she's like feeding me dinner and watering me and petting me and kissing me and stuff, and then all this, and I love that. She's been here for all these webinars for like the last 2 years, ones I used to do in my condo down in Virginia Beach. Now we live together, and I'm doing it on her couch. So, our couch, she says. Okay. But you guys get it in. Katie says, feel better soon, Colin. Love the presentation tonight. Thank you. Everyone get their free consultation over at expertwebwriting.com/help. Fill out the little questionnaire. Ed says, Colin, you have inspired many ideas tonight, including finishing my ebook and converting a workshop to a video training program. Thank you. Great info, Ed. Thank you for being here tonight. I appreciate your time, Ed, and everyone here. Hundreds of people on tonight. Very quiet in the Q&A, but that's fine with me because my voice is starting to go. Bradley says, sorry, I didn't realize you were sick. Got on late. Please take yourself to bed and get rest. Feel better soon. Thank you, Bradley. And I really appreciate that. So just to recap, Kindle books can make $30,000 a month. I was paid a product. I was paid $1,200 to teach YouTube training to one drunk lady, and sold it for $30,000. This $30,000 is huge. I got a girl who didn't write a book but recorded all her friends' funny stories and making $2,000 a month. She's made about $30,000 over the last 2.5 years, and it goes on and on and on. And we haven't even touched the surface. And you got to realize that making the CDs, the ebooks, creating the MP3s, getting on CreateSpace, selling Kindle books cost you absolutely nothing. There's no more master discs, there's no more duplication, there's no more piling it up, there's no more getting a loan and selling your firstborn son just to get some books for you to sell. None of that anymore. This is the power of the internet. This is the funnels that really work. So it's working for me, it can work for you. If you want me to help explain that to you with the stuff you already have, everyone's story is different, everyone's an individual. Get in on that free consultation. I'll take them as far as you want. You want to call me 3 months from now, just let me know, and I'll take any free consultations. Just remind me where you heard it from. Pamela says, thanks so much for all this fabulous content and feel better soon. Thanks, Pamela. Pamela's a new client, and we've been working on a lot of her good stuff. She's going to be selling all sorts of products. She's going to be a product empire goddess, and she's absolutely fantastic. Just waiting for the big bucks to roll in. Gary says, thanks for taking the time, especially since you're not feeling well. Get some rest. Great job. Looking forward to chatting with you. Thank you, Gary. I'm glad you signed on board for the free consultation. Yeah, I thought about canceling tonight. I haven't canceled a webinar in 7 years, and I wasn't going to do it tonight. I didn't think I'd make it, so I had Vicki on standby to finish the rest of the training. Hey, look, there's slides. I mean, she doesn't have to know this stuff. She can just read the slides. You can tell the story. It's not you don't really have to know all this stuff. But hopefully I'll be better my Monday, so I'm looking forward to talking to you guys. All right, I'm going to get out of here. I'm like sweating and burning up. I feel like crap, but I really appreciate you guys being here tonight and the time that you spend. And remember, you can make a lot of money with a zero-cost product empire. Products aren't just about the money. They're for getting the high coaching. They're for making you look like you have a big brand. There's a saying that Tom told me a long time ago that I hold to heart. He says that the only way to surpass the normal fee in your industry is to become a celebrity. Whether you're a leader, or a nutritionist, or a psychiatrist or something, normal people get paid the same fee, but celebrities make a lot more money in their fields. How do you become a celebrity? Your face on books, CDs, products. Go over to one of your big gurus, Dr. Phil and Tony Robbins, and look at the amount of products and training systems they have that not only make money but make them look like celebrities. And everybody wants to be on a book, so this is why we do this. So, all right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this recording and get the heck out of here, and I'll be sending out the recording to everyone tomorrow, along with the download of the slides. Bradley says, thank you, signing off. So you will too? Yep, I'll be getting out of here. Perdita says, thanks, that was the best webinar ever. Oh, you're a sweetheart. Greg says, thank you for all this great information. I'm looking forward to the free consultation. All right, I'm going to get out of here. All right, you guys have a great night, and I'll talk to you soon.